Wubba lubba dub dub, hello everyone, and I am here to give you more
Rick and Morty video content!
And I know what you might be thinking, why is there a top 7 episodes and not like a top 10? And the reason for that is 1, don't be so presumptuous, and 2, I feel like giving a top 10 episodes for a show that currently has like 30 some episodes feels dumb, and if I'm giving 1/3 of the episodes a list treatment, it might as well be a participation trophy at that point. So 7 episodes, plus I can save time because that helps. So here we go. But a couple disclaimers before we begin, because that's what YouTubers have to do in the year 2018. Number 1, I know the title may or may not say top 10 episodes of all time. Of all time, I hate that phrase. I kind of use it as a joke. How am I supposed to know the top 10 episodes of all time if future episodes haven't been released yet? Of all time is usually used inaccurate. It's a dumb phrase. Second off, these are my top 7 episodes of Rick and Morty, so if you are watching this and thinking, oh, where is such and such episode? It's a classic, blah 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 blah. Leave your top 7 list down below and look, it exists. You can be proud that you made it. You have the correct list. You are right, I am wrong. You are big, I am small. You are good looking, I am unattractive. Whatever, like, makes you feel better. Your list, it exists, it's on the internet. Everybody can see it, except, you know, nobody will, because I don't get comments or views. So you might as well post that some better place. Third, yes, I know there will be more episodes of Rick and Morty in the future, and those episodes will probably be on my list, so you might be asking what's the point in making the list. 1, because this is a YouTube video and these are just products of their time, flash in the pans if you haven't noticed already. 2, I think it'll be cool to come back in a couple years and kind of maybe every couple of seasons make a new list and just kind of see how it grows and evolves over time. And it will allow the vessel of Rick and Morty to just keep evolving, and how it appears in my mind as the best, like it'll just keep moving. It'll be interesting. Who cares?
I see the stars and the planets to follow, expecting that.
Now with all that bullshit aside, let's begin. Number 7, Pickle Rick. Yes, I know Pickle Rick to some might be an annoying episode, but some immature people like myself, it's one of the best. Not only do the A and B plot feel a lot more correlated because of this whole Rick's trying to get out of family counseling, and during family counseling they have like the best counselor of all time. It's like It's Always Sunny, that one episode all over again, but that's compared to Rick going on an amazing quest compared to no other, going to the ends of the earth, making friends along the way with strange men with wonderful facial hair and fun accents. And he's doing all of that while he's a pickle and developing parts and organisms from rats, and he's just doing a lot of interesting things. It makes for an amazing episode, and it had to be on the list. Plus, you know, it's a fun meme.
Come, let's watch the rain as it's falling down.
Number 6, Rixty Minutes. Some of you might be pissed it's on here. Some of you might be pissed it's not number 1. Yes, Rixty Minutes, not Interdimensional Cable 2. That was a good episode. I really liked it. The B plot was interesting. I just felt like I was watching 2 different things, whereas this episode feels like a perfect 100% embodiment of what they're trying to create. The B plot is a good supplement to what the main plot is, which is a bunch of random skits by the Rick and Morty guys. And those skits are all great, the concept is great, and it actually melds into a feely good story that the show typically does. It's an amazing episode for a reason. I'm sure a million stoners have watched this high as hell, and I applaud them. Number 5, Rick Potion number 9, aka the Cronenberg episode. This is the episode where the dimension of Rick and Morty is left and they just take a new dimension and keep going from there. I did not know, because I watched the Rick and Morty episodes all out of order, so I did not know about this for a very long time. And it was just crazy to figure this out way after the fact. And not only that, this broke Rick and Morty. It's been broken several times over. It's one of those types of shows, but it broke it in the best way possible, in the most imagined way possible. This is kind of where the show became something else. It became transformative in a way we don't see that many shows turn transformative. It just blew your mind, is what I'm saying. And any little boy that has to bury his own corpse and talk to family members that are but really aren't his family members and live with them, that is a crazy journey, and Morty developed all the much more after this episode.
At the ground, that's how I'm pulling up. I'm underwater, just might spark the blend. I got some money, but it's not enough.
Number 4, Morty's Mind Blowers. Yep, it's better than Interdimensional Cable 1. I love Morty's Mind Blowers. I've seen this episode like probably at least half a dozen times. It's a great episode, and it captures what I love about Rixty Minutes, and it kind of does something more with it, and it kind of enters that Rick and Morty mindfuck part of my brain that I really love. Not only that, it feels like it's turned the characters of Rick and Morty and kind of entered them into this unknown area where even Rick doesn't know everything that's happening. Even like the fabric of our reality that we think we understand, we don't understand, and that is just crazy to think about. Anyway, I love this episode. Morty's Mind Blowers, it's awesome.
It's time we take a trip to the bay. Girl, your body's talking and I'm loving what she said.
For number 3, I have chosen a Wrinkle in Time, which I know for a lot of people, like I was watching a lot of other people's lists right before I made this, and not many people even had a Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time is an amazing way to start a season. I think Rick and Morty takes their season openers and finales to new heights, and they take it very seriously. And not only do we get a follow-up to the ending of season 1, and they actually do something with it, and they turn it into something that I really just haven't seen in any other show, where I'm caring about 80-some versions of the same event happening, and they turn that into an ending that like really makes you think, and it really was the beginning of Rick and Morty starting to care for each other and develop a relationship, which is kind of like the heart of the show, at least for me it is. And on top of that, it's super funny. It has all the other great Rick and Morty stuff that I love, and I just thought it was a great episode, and it really blew my mind once again.
Gotta hit that string, you better watch it. With a cat that I pack it with a full clip. I got the whip, got the bitch that I keep it undercover.
Number 2, we are coming up towards the big finale here. Number 2, I love the Rick Shank redemption, not only for introducing Szechuan sauce to the nation, not only for having the best prison breakout of all of pop culture, not only because Rick is in a whole bunch of crazy simulation worlds where one, he enters a backstory that completes his character, but at the same time they wishy-wash it, so he is still mysterious. They do a million things I love in this episode, and the ending where Rick is just shouting at Morty about the future and how he's manipulating the family, it's just perfect in so many ways. This is a perfect Rick and Morty episode, and I'm glad it's my number 2.
Everybody tell how quick it lies. Roller coaster ride. We all get ever so improvised. So doom, baby, get you up in my tomb, maybe.
Number 1, you might have already heard me gushing about this episode, but it's easily my favorite episode. I'm talking the Rick Atlantis mix-up. Why? because I love this episode because I love the idea of Rick and Morty going to Atlantis. Atlantis is such a creative, fun place in all of pop culture, and to see Rick and Morty adapt to this sea world life, and you know, Rick has that whole subplot about getting mermaid puss, and Morty, like, at the beginning of the episode, like, he's like, what the fuck is going on? But it turns out he just really likes mermaid vagina. And, you know, at this point in the series, I thought he was still a virgin. I don't know what he's been doing with his girlfriend there. But I guess he's just slaying mermaid puss in this episode. And it's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. Also, the part with Poseidon and all the other, like, sea guardians, I really thought that was the best part. And the fact that, you know, Rick, like, developed lightning powers after touching the trident and everything. It was a crazy episode, and I can see why they would want to come back to Atlantis every other week, or once a week, whatever he said. It was the best episode of Rick and Morty ever. Anyway, guys, those are my top 7 episodes of Rick and Morty. Leave yours down below. I want discussions, and trust me, if I had honorable mentions, it would be every other episode of Rick and Morty. This was really hard to do. There was like at least 10 episodes that like almost made the list. I feel really bad about not including some. The M. Night Shyamalan Aliens, Me Seeks and Destroy, Lawnmower Dog, the Purging episode, the Getting Swifty, the episode, I'm forgetting the name, but where his girlfriend and he almost kills himself at the end of the episode. That's all we remember that episode for. So many great episodes, all of them easily could have made my list. Total Recall, another amazing episode. The Whirly Durly, ABCs of Beth. I loved all of these episodes. Morty Night Run. There's a million great episodes of Rick and Morty, and I can't wait for season 4, guys. I really just can't, and I will just absolutely die to see how this list evolves over the years and as we get more seasons. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want, hit up my social media down below. You can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the fuck you are on. Letterboxed, I don't care, I'm on it. And anyway, guys, thank you as always so much, and I will see you next time. And until then, with that, I leave you.
I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say